Mike Owens with Inside Fighting here, joined today by Newmansa, Joaquin Buckley, who's coming off the biggest win of his career over Stephen Wonderboy Thompson at UFC 307. Joaquin, my man, always a pleasure. How are you? How are things
Yes,
at you
sir.
today?
Man, man, we feeling like gold right now. So, me getting that finish over Wonder Boy, a lot of people didn't think I would do it, but I called my shot and I went ahead and did a little Michael Jordan, what I'm saying, slam dunks to knockouts and got Wonder Boy up out of there. So I feel good about it.
You're feeling like gold because gold's very hard to get a hold of. Like you've been all this week trying to schedule this interview, but I'm really glad that we could get it done. How
Yes,
are
sir.
your emotions after this win? And did the flight play out as you imagined?
The fight definitely did play out how we imagined. Yet again, the whole plan was to knock out Wonder Boy when I went out there. So for us to execute that plan from the jump is a beautiful thing. Of course, people saying that the fight was very competitive from Wonder Boy, but at the end of the day, I really feel like I was still winning that fight throughout that whole situation. So I really feel like just really kind of putting a stamp on it and really getting the finish in that fight was well needed.
I actually think it's the little bit of adversity and the back and forth nature of it was probably a good thing for you because if you had knocked out Wonderboy in the first round, the storyline wouldn't have been Joaquin Buckley KO's Wonderboy. The storyline would have been Wonderboy's too old, Wonderboy needs to retire. So in some ways, maybe the little bit of back and forth served you good because you found you got to get all the flowers of what was a fantastic knockout in the third.
I guess I mean I still see people using that excuse that he just getting up there in age that he's
Mhm.
too old, but he fought a great fight, he was definitely well prepared. His father Ray definitely got him ready. So I just feel like at the end of the day, it's just certain positions that I feel like that I secure I need to keep, so those takedowns and him getting back up, that's some things I got to work on. So he definitely showed me that there's some things that I gotta definitely tune up. But other than that, man, I'm definitely proud of my performance and what I was able to do out there.
UFC 308 is this weekend. Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway for the UFC featherweight title, and we have an incredible new offer from our partners at DraftKings. Right now, all new customers who bet $5 will instantly receive $200 in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now and sign up using our promo code Inside Fighting. The crown is yours. Did he feel old in there at all? Like, did he feel like? Did you feel faster than
I
him?
ain't gonna do it like that. I ain't gonna do it like that, but it felt like for me that I should have been able to control a lot more than I did, So I feel like at the end of the day, it's just some things that I got to work on. So he did a great job. He prepared himself well, and yet again, there's a lot of people that can't do that to Wonder Boy in the first place, right? Even when
Mm.
they take him down, he's still able to get back up. So I really feel like what I'm saying, at the end of the day, he has put himself in a position where he's just hard to keep down. So you just got to be a whole different level type of grappler in order to keep Wonder Boy on his back.
Have we heard anything from Kamaru Usman after your call out yet?
Nah. It's not gonna happen, But at the end of the day, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna be back on, just doing not just doing interviews, but back to promoting, back to doing our fun skits, man, and just having fun with the position where we at. Because right now we number 9 in the world, and I really feel like I can really mix up the division a little bit, and I can really start calling out some names, regardless if they active or regardless if they got fights, man. We can make some storylines happen. So we definitely gonna have some fun, coming up 2025.
When you called out Usman, did you feel like the fight was likely?
You just never know. Yet again,
Mm.
I'm never scared to shoot my shot. And yet again, it ain't nothing wrong with kind of asking for an opportunity. The worst thing they can say is no.
100%. Who do you
Or get in
think?
line. Or get in line.
I love it. Who do you think? Because obviously you're on this fantastic win streak, and it feels like the only way is up from number 9, which leaves potentially 8 guys and a champion. Who do you feel is like most likely next when you survey the top 10? Who do you think not necessarily is who do you feel is most likely to accept the fight against you?
Now that's a hard one. I'm glad you said that. Accept the fight, that's a hard one. But I believe the ones that are true fighters and true martial artists who would love to step into the cage with me, a JDM is one of them. Uh Damn, that's kind of crazy. Like when I really started to think about it, Ian Garry probably, right? Um, a Belal Muhammad. That's it, bro. That's it. I really like when you talk about like really want to step in the cage with me. I don't think there's a lot of dudes that just want to step in there with me. A Gilbert don't want to step in there with me. A Leon Edwards wouldn't want to step in there with me. A Colby Covington wouldn't want to step in there with me. We see Usman didn't want that work, you know. Sean Brady blocked me from Instagram, so he definitely don't want to get the work, you know. So it's just like there's not a lot of guys that's willing to step in that cage with me. I tell you that. So but the guys that I feel like would a JDM, a Belal Muhammad, and what other name did I give? Ian Garry.
Ian Garry.
Yeah,
It feels like welterweight is one of the more strategic divisions at the top end. It feels like there's a lot of guys in that top five, top 10 who are more interested in holding their rank than they are about
yeah.
fighting, it seems.
It's time to get those type of guys out of there. You know,
Mm.
right now the division is hot. The 170 division is real hot with some prospects that's coming up in this game that's deadly too. You know, what I mean, I've been definitely paying attention to a lot of guys that I feel like once they make it to the rankings, it's definitely gonna be one of those old school type of fields. Just like George St. Pierre when he was reigning in the welterweight division with all killers. From what's names like John Finch, from Jake Shields, from Matt Hughes, and other names like the Diaz. Like, so
Mm.
I really feel like now we got a lot of mix of guys that can come into the rankings that can really kind of make a name for themselves within the welterweight division, and whoever's on top in the welterweight division can definitely solidify themselves as one of the best in the world.
If you were a matchmaker, how would you matchmake the top 10 at 170? Because I don't think there's many people booked other than Belal and Shavkat, of course.
I couldn't book everybody, but I really feel like, let's say just the top five,
Mm.
who the top five right now. You already got Belal and Shavkat about to run it. I feel like you could match up a Leon and JDM,
Mm.
and probably just make one more little mix up. Usman and Sean Brady.
Have you heard the rumors of Ian Garry versus Sean Brady at UFC Tampa?
No, I thought Ian Garry had Colby Covington.
Well, that's to be they seem to be the two names that I keep hearing. It seems that Ian will be fighting on that card. It's a question of whether Colby will accept the fight, and if Colby doesn't, it
Is
sounds like
is
they're going
it
to
is it in Florida? Am I not mistaken?
Florida, December
Yeah, more
14th.
more more likely it's gonna be Colby Covington. Yeah,
Because Ian is going on this Instagram rampage with these videos, but he seems to say that
but he's
Colby's
not
turning down
accepting.
the fight. Yeah.
At the end of the day, Kobe got to pay them bills, so I can't see him ducking Ian because he already ducked him the first time, so I can't see him doing it again. This is a second opportunity to take this fight, so Kobe gonna need that check at the end of the day.
How would you see that one playing out if it does happen?
I can see Ian Gary getting it done, but nothing exciting. Just
Mm.
another little boring fight that Ian Gary could put on, but a winnable fight for him for sure. Because Kobe Covington, he's not active. He's not out there in the cage, putting in work, and the way that he trains. I've seen him train before. He trains how he wants to. He trains very comfortable at MMA Masters, so he's not going to be working at the level as he should. Wanting to try to be a world champion like Ian Gary is. So I see a stale performance from Ian Gary getting his hand raised. Yep.
It feels like there's a nice mix of old veterans with up and coming prospects at the top
Yeah.
10, top 15 at the moment. It
Yeah.
feels like
Yeah.
there's a nice bit of parity. And my question to you is, would you prefer to fight another guy on the come up, like an Ian Garry or a Sean Brady, a guy who's making their way up, or would you prefer to
You
fight one
said
of the
what?
older legends?
Yeah. Let me get all the legends. Yeah. Let me get the vets. Let me get the old ones.
Mm,
Yeah. The I want the hardest challenge when I get that belt.
mm,
Right? That's it. I want to fight all the young prospects that I'm talking about that's going to eventually make it, because I'm not going to shout out their name right now, but eventually when they make it to the rankings, I want to fight all them fools when I have a belt, because that's when it's going to be more most worth it. And also that's when I'm fighting them at their best, right? Because I don't want no excuses either.
mm,
So with that being said, it's just like I really want to prove to the world at one point, because yet again, my words don't mean shit to people, right?
mm.
It's the results that's gonna speak for themselves, right? So my thing is, once I make my way to the belt and I hold that title, I'm gonna make sure that I fight the names that I want, and that's really gonna submit my name as one of the greatest welterweights of all time. But yet again, all that shit, all I'm saying, people ain't gonna want to hear me until I actually show and do it.
Give me one name of a guy on the come up who's impressed you. I know you're thinking of someone.
I know I'm not thinking. I already got
Are you
him in
not?
my head. I'm thinking, should I shout him out? But I will.
Go
But I
on.
will. Bryan Battles. Bryan Battles is definitely somebody. I'm gonna call him Pooh Bear though. Fuck that Busher shit. That Pooh Bear, he definitely will be making it to the rankings soon, and I know that I'm gonna be seeing him. But like I said, I'd rather see these guys at the top.
What's impressed you about Brian? Because I saw him fight at UFC Paris a couple of weeks ago with Kevin Ducey, and he does have a certain presence, especially when he's flipping off a 20,000 seater of 20,000 arena of French fans.
Yeah,
But what's impressed you about him?
he's just hungry. He hungry. That's it, you know. And people try to make this fight shit as complicated. It ain't really that complicated. It's about who willing to go out there and fight and really put they best foot forward. And he's one of those type of fighters to do that, you
Mm,
know. So just as a respect to another fighter, because I'm that type of guy too, I gotta respect him for that. And I can see him leveling up every single time.
I like it. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago, but the title fight is now official between Belal and Shavkat. Are you going to be in Vegas at 310 to watch that one?
I'm gonna try to make it out there.
Mm.
Usually I don't like to be a fan and watching no more, you know, because of what I'm doing. But I feel like just because it is my weight class and it is how the division shakes up, I got to see what's going on in person.
And we're still riding with Belal, I presume.
Yeah, we still riding with Belal for sure.
How
Yep.
if you had to give me a prediction for how that fight plays out, how would you envisage it going?
Good decision, I tell you that. Belal, good decision for sure. Yeah.
So you think it's a wide point decision? You think it's close, like 3 rounds to two, or a split? Like what type of
I mean,
fight do you see?
it could, but I can see Shavkat slowing down. Right, this is his first 5 rounder. Right, am I not mistaken?
Yes.
This is his first main event for
Mm,
belt. A lot of pressure on the line too, because you got a lot of people watching him. You understand?
mm.
Coming from Kazakhstan, could be the first champion. A lot of that does weigh in on folks, and you know we're gonna see how Shavkat is able to deal with all that pressure because at the end of the day, Belal has dealt with that pressure already with the country that he backs, right? With Palestine and
Mm.
them going through the wars and everything. And you see how he was able to execute against Leon and not having that pressure affect him in a negative way, but actually push him. Let's see how Shavkat is able to deal with that because everybody say he's so much more talented, which he is, but I don't think he's stronger than Belal when it comes mentally. So, yet again, I love to see it though.
What's more likely, Shavkat wins by decision or Belal wins by stoppage?
More likely, Shavkat gets a robbery from Belal. So, you know, Shavkat gets a good little dub
Mm,
for what I'm saying the judges from the
mm.
judges. Yeah, there
I
we
love
go.
it. I have to bring you back to a moment that I saw post UFC 307, and that was the interaction that you had between an old foe and Kevin Holland. Can you talk to us a little bit about what that moment was like?
Be honest with you, it was so random because
Mm,
I just wasn't expecting him to be so close to where we was parked, you know, because
mm,
that throughout that whole situation when I was out in the hotel and coming out to Utah, every time we popped up at the hotel, the security was always around me, right? And I was just like kind of like what's going on? Like y'all just telling me what's the problem? Oh, Kev is just around, so we just want to make sure that neither of you guys get into it. I'm like I'm not gonna do nothing. Just in case we just want to
mm,
make sure that we hear it. So the whole time going from the hotel to the venue, from the walkout, like everything, bro. It was just catered to me and Kev not running into each other. And as soon as I got the biggest win of my career, and everything is supposed to be just dialed down and like we just chilling, he pop up out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Buck, let me talk to you. Got his hand on his side. You know what I mean? Like, and it is what it is. I can already tell like he's coming to, um, like not in like a negative way. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
So it ain't no issue to really kind of like buck up on him. So I let him speak his piece. And I appreciate him for the words that he said because I know that took a lot from him to say that. He did not want to say that shit, but I appreciate him. You know what I mean? Just for being honest and being real. You know what I'm saying? That at the end of the day, I'm one of the best fighters in the game right now. And you just gotta you just gotta what's the word I'm looking for? Like just it's the word I'm looking for. I can't even figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, though, it's just like at the end of the day, you just got to show respect to anybody that's
Mm.
doing what you doing and actually pursuing for everything that you work for, you know. So I feel like every fighter has that respect at the end of the day, that when you see somebody working and you see somebody winning, you know what it takes to get to there. You know what I'm saying? So you can only show respect, you know what I'm saying, at the highest level.
Yeah, well, it was good to see. And turn the conversation back to yourself. We've talked so much this year, and you're so adamant that 2025 is the year that you claim this title. Where does this confidence come from that you feel like 2025 is the year you become world champion?
It just makes sense. You know, this is almost the end of the year. It's almost the end of the year. I can't be like, I'm trying to take the belt in the next 3 months.
True.
So at the end of the day, man, my confidence comes from all the training and preparation that I put in, and the self belief that I have in myself. You know, this is not force. This is not an act. I've been working towards this dream since I was 18 years old. Now I'm 30, I'm a grown ass man. It's just like, you know, it's that time. I'm in my prime era. You know, I feel like every time I go out there to fight, there is no butterflies, there is no nervous energy. There's only just, you know, excitement, you know, and anticipation in order for me to go out and hunt somebody down and get a knockout. So I'm just ready to show the world, or fuck them, fuck the world. Actually, you know what I mean? I'm just ready to show to myself that I can do exactly what I've been saying this whole time. You know?
Mm. And
Yeah.
what I love about this, and when I say this next question, I say it with the utmost respect because you know the respect I have for you. But I feel like there were certain parts of your UFC run where you were perhaps written off, where people maybe put a ceiling on your potential. And going on this fight win streak, and specifically what you've done this year with Luque, Nursultan, and then obviously with Wonderboy, I feel like you've lifted people's expectations of you. How were you able
Um,
to keep your self belief and do what you've been able to do on this fight win streak and kind of let's say change people's perception of you?
yet again, not being concerned about it. You
Mm,
know, I continue to have that self belief because I've always had it, you
mm,
know, and I see with the self belief what I've been able and capable of doing, and it's not changing anything, right? It's keeping that same mentality, bro, keeping that same work ethic, man, and making sure that I stay grounded in all the things that I'm doing. Because once you start to switch it up, or once you start to, you know what I'm saying, start tasting your own sauce, like that's when things start to get, you know, a little bit different for you. That's when people start telling you like, hey, yeah, bro, you're not as good as you really, you know what I'm saying, talking
mm.
about. And then you start to listen to that, and guess what? You digest that energy. So my thing is, bro, is just staying away from a lot of people like that, and only stand around people that only want to see the best for me, and keep me doing the things that already got me to where the point where I'm at now, so I can keep succeeding.
Yeah. Well, I want to see the best for you, Buck, because it's been fantastic seeing you on this win streak, and it's always great to see you back in action.
Thank you,
Great to
man.
see you get the win over Wonderboy. I think we talked about this
Yeah.
before. It was my birthday, so it was a nice little birthday treat for me. So congratulations again on the win,
Appreciate you, man.
and we'll
Thank you,
talk soon
man.
before
Thank
the next one.
you, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for always having me, dog.